Well, one overseas, I did some more research on vitamin D and melanin and didn't know that. Well, actually, I should know this, but when you have too much pigmentation in your body, you're blocking UV radiation, which means you are blocking deficient. You're going to create vitamin D deficiency. Okay, and so the darker you are, the more problems you're going to have when it comes to vitamin D balances. So when you get too much vitamin D, there are issues. When you don't get enough vitamin D, there are issues. Some people are saying that people are trying to block the sun. Well, you really can't block the sun. Um, those that yeah. So it's interesting why a certain culture that has very, very dark skin would have issues and predispositions with cancer, disease, and chronic illness because merely the lack of the ability to absorb vitamin D, the hormonal deficiencies. And so this makes me wonder, as far as the J juice, how this will help people with very dark skin absorb UV radiation to get the necessary vitamin D. And I haven't even thought of that because, I mean, when I was out in the sun yesterday, yeah, it was painful. I was in pain, which means the body's saying, okay, it's painful when something's painful, you're adapting. And then the body is now trying to find a way to build up the body to block the excess UV radiation. And so that's why skin gets darker. And in our world, tans are amazing. I mean, I love a tan. I love having a tan, okay? It's still very aesthetic, okay, yeah. But those with very, very dark skin will have a problem absorbing vitamin D. And so, with the J juice, drink the J juice. And how it's going to help you absorb vitamin D when you have dark skin, I have no idea. It might balance out your melanin to where you have enough protection based upon your environment, but you're able to still absorb the vitamin D or the UV radiation to trigger your vitamin D hormone levels. That's the only way I can think of how the J juice will help those with very dark skins in very hot climates. Okay? So this will be interesting. So those of you who are on the J juice who happen to have naturally dark skin, how is your skin pigmentation on the J juice? And so that I just learned something today. So the balance of your body, mind, and spirit and how it adapts to your environment is very key. And so this is something just to think about and explore as far as the J juice, your skin, your ability to adapt to your environment. What do you notice, those with you with darker skin? What do you notice as far as your skin on the J juice? How much of the sun, because you go out and spend too much time in the sun, you got to have a balance. Everything is about balance. And so the J juice will definitely help balance it out. What it looks like, I have no idea. I'm naturally really pale, and then when I go out into the sun, I get dark, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. And that's why I guess in a lot of different cultures, having a paler skin is more optimal because it shows it's more healthy, when I was in China, if you had dark skin, you were like low man on the totem pole. Like there was actual hierarchies of Asians when I was in China. Like China were like, well, the USA were the top because we make the most money, right? But in the Asian, there was a hierarchy. Like the Chinese were the top, the lighter skinned Chinese were the top. And then like the Filipinos and the Vietnamese and any of the dark skinned Vietnamese were at the bottom because it showed that they were migrant workers, they're exposed to the sun, they don't have a good balance. And that is interesting. That is interesting. And then they also were selling like talcum or white powder to lighten up their skin because light skin is more optimal and it shows much healthier. So I guess that's an interesting thing, but just something to explore. Yeah, right, John. I reckon it'll reset the body thermostat. So just a lot of things to pay attention. If you have darker skin, how the J juice interacts with your skin pigmentation, your ability to absorb the UV rays, and just your overall well-being. Okay, but I could see now. I understand like why certain cultures with darker pigmentation have their own set of predispositions, like sickle cell anemia and those other types of predispositions. Because that's right, predisposition, sickle cell anemia, when you have too much vitamin D or not enough, something about blood levels. I don't know. There's some interesting. We'll do more research. I'll do more research later on, but that's just something to think about as far as skin pigmentation and predispositions, and then where the J juice comes into play, and then the healthy balance between the two. Okay, so that's another thing we got to research. And yeah. So you guys just keep trucking. But I just wanted to give you that little revelation as I do more research on skin pigmentation, melanin, vitamin D, all of that, and it's completely opposite than what I thought. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.